You're listening to Inside Real Estate, your source for all things mortgage and real estate related. The show that brings you all the hottest topics and insights directly from those who know it most. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Back and enjoy the show. What's up, Brad? What's up, Sal? We are Inside Real Estate. New year, new platform. We're using a different platform. Things look a little bit different. It is 2021. I think I speak for a lot of people that say 2020 can go F itself. How do you guys feel about that?
Agreed.
Okay, good. Yeah. So, I figured we'd do like a year-end review and kind of just like talk about 2020, but I'd rather talk about like 2021 to be honest with you and see like what's coming up. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. 2020 was a weird year. Like we did well. Like we were up 35% in our business, but we were almost out of business at one point. We thought we were like not going to be able to close the mortgages, and then it got really busy. And then the weirdest thing happened for our business is we had the biggest month ever in December. I've never in my career had a month. I had a year where December was the busiest month that you had. Even in growing businesses, like in Quicken's, like hyper growth, never happened. UWM's hyper growth never happened. It has always been the case where, December and July are like slower years in the mortgage business, right? Because it's just
slower months.
What's that?
Slower months, not years.
Sorry, yeah, slower months, yeah. So, and then this year was just very anomalous on every front. It was like every weird thing that happened in 2020 that you didn't think would happen, right? So, but the mortgage industry survived. First of all, everybody that's listening, thank you for listening in 2020. I mean, just to recap something real quick is our listeners are awesome. We've had over 24,000 downloads of our podcast. Can you believe that? Did you ever think 24,000 times somebody would download our dumbasses?
No, it's crazy to think about.
24,000.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been listened to on every continent on the planet. Weird at like there's like one. What's that?
Antarctica?
It's not a continent, bro.
Man,
wow, you're stupid.
Are you sure?
No, it isn't.
You think Alaska's its own continent?
I didn't say Alaska. I said Antarctica, dude.
Oh, my bad.
You must have went to school in the lower peninsula.
I thought you said Alaska, bro. I don't know. Is Antarctica it's considered its own thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. You think anybody listened to us in Antarctica? Okay, maybe that's the only place somebody doesn't listen to us, so it doesn't matter. But point being is we've been listened to a lot over the last 2 years that we've been doing this. We've done, I don't know, how many episodes have we done, Natalia? Do you know?
This is 135.
135 episodes. That's wild. That's really wild to do that, to do something consistently for that long. And that's the hard thing about the podcast. People don't really get is it's like, yeah, it's fun. We do this every week, but you got to do it every week. And then anything that you do over time, no matter how much fun or how much like, oh, cool, we do a podcast, it's awesome. No matter what it is, at some point, everything becomes work, no matter how fun it is. Like I told Matt, porn stars have to get up and go to work too, right? Like the most enjoyable thing that you can think of, you wake up and you got to wake up and like perform, no matter what. So that's, I hope the listeners appreciate the fact that we do this week in and week out. Maybe some don't. Maybe some want us to just stop. But it is definitely been like an interesting ride. We've had a lot of great guests. I mean, I can't believe some of the guests that have come on our show and done our show. Like, we've had people from like Brittany Hodak, Barry Habib. It's always been so gracious with his time. Matt Ishbia. This year we had a lot of like interesting people. We had some interesting stuff happen with the whole like Anthony Casa thing. You guys remember that when he was supposed to be on the show, and then he basically like called someone's wife a whore or something like that. So we couldn't do him, and it was interesting. It was a weird year as far as all that went. What was your if you guys had to pick like some of your favorite episodes? Which one do you guys have any that stand out in your head?
I like Darren McCarty. That was fun.
Darren McCarty's dude. That was probably my favorite episode. I'm not going to kid you. I don't think enough people have watched it or listened to it because it wasn't our like.
It was nice because he was in person, right? So it was fun to you grew up watching hockey and whatnot, and sit down with him was funny. But probably for some conversation points, Barry Habib as well.
Barry's always great to talk to, dude. I mean, I felt bad last time Barry was on the show. He was like stressed. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a lot going on. A lot. I mean, we're talking like CNBC shit and like top level stuff. And he's like, fuck, guys, I don't know if I'm really busy. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to do the show. He's like, I'll do it. And he's always very gracious, right? So I appreciate him. Yeah, but dude, Darren McCarty's episode was a really cool one. I do miss doing the episode, the podcast in person. Do you guys miss doing that in person, or do you think this is like a better format?
I like doing it in person. I miss doing it in person, but
yeah,
you can't really right now.
No. Do you guys think like we'll be able to do it in person again someday? Someday. All right, that's good. That's good to know. All right. Well, what's weird? Like I was reading it. Interest rates have hit the all-time lows. Right? They came up a little bit yesterday, but going into 2021, interest rate environment is super, 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 super low, and inventory is super, 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 super low. Which is like kind of been the theme, like year over year, guys. Like going into the next year, we're like, yeah, inventory is a problem. Inventory is a problem. Inventory is a problem. Inventory has not stopped being a problem. I think in like 3 years, it feels like.
No, I feel like we've been talking about it for 3 years. I think it's going to continue to be a problem. It's not going to go away.
Yeah, I don't know. Sal, do you think it like corrects itself, or is this something that just like how do you get more inventory? Like when does that? I listened 23,000 times. Yeah, Zach Jones. I love that. Thank you, sir.
I don't think it just necessarily rights itself. I mean, it's just. I think it's just kind of like a population problem, right? There's too many people.
Well, go be trying to fix
right?
it.
But I mean, you got to build more homes, and people got to like kind of want to move away, probably from the city. And I think that you might be seeing some of that with baby boomers retiring and whatnot, and younger people being able to come in. But I don't know. I mean, just see what happens. This business is so hard to predict. So
yeah, Barry's done it a few times, but it is hard to predict. It is hard. Barry makes it sound like it's easy. He's like, guys, it's just math. You know what I mean? But there's also emotion.
But
there's also emotion.
But if you're right a lot of the time, that's good. And obviously he's super smart and can see things. But like at the same time, it's like, will there be more inventory or will there be less? There's like a 50-50 chance of you being right and predicting it. So
there's one side will be right at some point. If you say something long enough, you'll be right. Right? Rates are going to go up. Rates are going to go up. At some point, they'll go up, and then you'll say, "Aha, I was right." So but it is interesting. Like, do you guys think like maybe the real estate community actually concocted COVID so there'd be less demand?
Yeah, Paul, 100%. That's what happened.
I mean, barring an explosion in construction of homes in the $200,000 to $400,000 range in our area and other areas, affordable homes, which most builders aren't building. They're building $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 homes because there's more money in it, right? There is a severe lack unless you're flipping. I think there's a huge market right now for flippers. What do you think, Sal? I mean, do you see flippers making some money right now, Sal? Because there's such a high demand, or is it hard to find a good house? Is that it?
Well, I mean, a flip's only worth it if you can get it for the right price, and prices are high right now. So
yeah.
I mean, it's to a degree relative, right? But there's a large demand for people wanting to buy homes to flip too, right? So, I mean, it's not necessarily that they're not out there, that's for sure, and there aren't a lot of people making money doing it. But at the same time, like now's not the time to like quit your job and become a QVC flipper. I mean, that's not going to work out for you. So, I mean, I think it's just, I think a lot of people who've been in this business a long time and have built a lot of relationships are doing well right now. They're able to kind of leverage all those relationships to find off-market properties and create some opportunity for themselves, whether it's a real estate agent, an investor, loan officer, whatever, right? I mean, there's just it's raining right now. Everyone that I've talked to says, their phones are blowing up. People want to buy homes. A lot of buyers. People want to sell homes.
A lot of sellers, but a lot of sellers I think are waiting until the spring. And I think there's a holdback in inventory just because of the holidays. But I think we'll see. And correct me if you disagree.
I think a lot of people held out for after the holidays, and that's why it's super busy right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think the spring buying season is like already here, basically. Like it's going to be here way early compared to other years, right? Other years, you kind of go through January, February starts ramping up, then March, April, May, you really get a robust boom of people looking to buy houses. I think those that are looking to buy houses are serious, and those that are serious are going to start earlier this year, potentially, right? And I don't think that's going to put any less strain on demand. I do think we might have some more inventory in the spring when people start realizing how much they can get for their house and how low rates are when they go buy a new house. Because there is something to be said, Sal. Like let's say you're at 4% on your mortgage. And a lot of people are still 3.5%. There's a lot of people that live in houses right now that haven't refinanced. And maybe they've been thinking about moving, and then they get a call. Like, I don't think they realize, and maybe this is an education piece. Maybe realtors could use this. If I was a realtor, I would. Look, what's your rate on your mortgage right now? I have a 4% at $250,000. Well, you can borrow $200,000 or $300,000 at a lower rate, and it's the same payment. So sell your house, make $100,000 out of your house, put that on down payment on the new house, get a lower rate, and your payment is basically the same, and you get a bigger, and you've upgraded your house, right? Or whatever it may be, right? It mitigates that expense for the bigger house. I think that there's some room there for real estate agents to kind of leverage the low interest rate market and talk to them about, hey, listen, you can upgrade and basically not really feel it as much. And I think people don't kind of miss that when they're looking to sell and buy. They're just looking at how much can I sell my house for and how much can I buy the new house for? But their price of money is different too. If they have a house right now and their price of money is 3.5%, and they buy a new one at 2.5%, that delta right there mitigates a lot of an increase in price too. And I don't know that a lot of people look at it that way. A lot of people look at refinances like that. Like I'm going to live in this house for a while. I should get the lowest rate possible. But a lot of people that live in their house for a while that aren't looking at refinancing might actually be able to upgrade and not really spend much more. You know what I mean, Sal? Do you agree with that, or am I off on that?
No, I mean, I think that's right. It's a matter of, looking at what does, a lower rate save you in because arguably these are probably the lowest rates we'll see in a long time, right? So if you're in this loan and you are in a home for 7 years, how much more interest do you save versus, buying at a later time and maybe saving 10 grand on the price of your home, but your rate's, 0.5% or a full percent higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that offset itself? And, you also got to look too at the equity you build, right? I mean, you're building equity at a faster rate. So it's not only the monthly savings, but you're also saving money because more of your payment is going to principal, right? So I think that, on the slingshot effect of this is to a degree, like a lot of people are going to be able to build a lot more wealth, right? And I think there might be a slowdown once the rates do go up, right? I mean,
yeah, they can. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
If rates, let's say, spike tomorrow to 4%, crazy spike, right? We're hypotheticals. I mean, it's still very low historically speaking, and that would be a big move from where we are today. But it would definitely put the brakes on some people's want or their appetite to move or buy houses.
I think it would accelerate it and then slow it, right?
Yes.
People would be, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
I was having part of this conversation last night with someone that's buying and selling a new house. What would it take for interest rates to spike up like that in the next, say, 12 months? What would have to happen for rates to come up to 4 or 5% again?
Inflation would have to be a problem, so we'd have to slow it down. And inflation's not a problem right now, but it could be a problem with all the money that we printed. Devaluing of the dollar could be a problem. If the dollar started getting really devalued and people stopped investing in American bonds or U.S. bonds, and from like national, again, bonds are kind of like stocks when you look at the countries, right? You've got Chinese bonds, you've got our bonds, you've got Brazilian bonds. So if you're like other countries or other really wealthy people and you want to protect your money, you're going to put your money in the safest place possible. And historically, U.S. bonds have been very, very stable, right? Now, if we start seeing a degrading of our dollar, right? So let's say, like Barry said, you put your money in our bond market, you're getting 6% return, but our dollar's being devalued at 10%, right? Then you're losing money no matter how much money you're making on that. So that is a scary prospect. And also,
that's not just going to happen, right? That's not a short-term thing that's just going to happen overnight. That for that to happen, there would have to be a significant event that happens, right?
Like,
something big. Go ahead.
Our balance sheet is a significant event right now. We've shelled out a lot of money as a government. We've just printed money, and the long-term effects that we don't know. The short-term effect was a shot in the arm, and people started like spending money. It was good. I don't think. Sal, do you think this last like stimulus of $600 or whatever it is? You think it's going to do much compared to what before?
No.
$600. I mean, not to be an asshole, but no, it's not that much money. It's not even rent, right? It doesn't cover someone's rent or might cover someone's car payment.
I mean, listen, it's better than nothing, right? But like at the same time, I don't really think it's like moving needles out there, really. I mean, if you think about it as a whole, right? It's a ton of like an absolute ton of money, right? $600 times, 4 million people. Right?
It's a lot of money.
But like the thought of the reason why they're out of work, right? And or experiencing wages, I feel like, at least on my end, there's got to be some more support to some of the businesses who've had to lay these people off, right? Not necessarily those who are laid off and collecting unemployment and whatnot. It doesn't really necessarily fix a problem.
It's interesting
back in the job market.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there's been so many sectors of the the business market that were affected. A lot of them were in services industries, but there were so many industries that have taken advantage of the whole COVID thing and made oodles of money. Like, in my opinion, people had more money to spend. Nobody was traveling, right? Nobody was going anywhere. Nobody was partying. Nobody was going to bars. So people's like expendable income went up, in my opinion, because they weren't spending it on X, Y, and Z, right? So
unless you were one of those people that worked at a bar or worked in the service industry.
Correct.
And didn't have the extra money, right?
Correct. But everybody else kind of like, not everybody else, but a lot of industries like ours did well. You have technology industries did well. The stock market did well. The housing market did well. It's weird. It's weird how it's becoming like you better adapt. Like, there's some restaurants killing it. There's some restaurants that are like, I went to this place by our house and it was like a gyro place and he had just opened up right before COVID. And we're like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, we're kind of built for this, dude. He's like, we kind of opened up with a small dining room and we wanted to be mostly carry out. And this kind of played right into our hand. We're killing it. Right. But some restaurants couldn't adapt correctly or fast enough. And they went out of business. So it really is. Sal, I really think it's about adaptation, man. Like, if you can adapt and figure out a way to eke out a business, because in every business, whenever there's a crisis, there's a solution that somebody gravitates to that does take off, right?
What is interesting though, like, and mind you, this is probably a little political, but like, this isn't like, we're kind of like in a little bubble of like quarantine. You know what I mean? Like, I was just in Florida and it's like all restaurants, everywhere's open, everywhere's super busy.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Do they have so in Florida, do they have like strict rules, like how far away you had to be from people, or were they just like open?
They're just open, man. I mean,
no shit.
Maybe, I don't know. It's not like I was there before COVID and thereafter to some of these restaurants. But
a lot of their restaurants are
I
outside.
have to imagine when you're sitting next to someone on like a bar, right? And there's someone right next to you that they've not really taken the proper steps that we do up here, right? But
it's true.
It's interesting, and I guess you look at like the numbers and whatnot, and it's hard to say, like, is it worse there than it is here, or is it worse here than it is there? And they got different weather and all this, but like,
who knows, man?
I feel like I feel like things will kind of go back to normal as soon as like some of these lockdowns are eased. People want to eat. People want to.
Yeah.
Some people who did well in other industries are like
ready to spend money,
ready to open up restaurants, ready to do things, right? Ready to invest in them, because once it's over, I mean, people are going to want to go out to eat, and there's probably a large opportunity for some of these restaurants who have failed for others to come in and buy them up.
I think the appetite for going out is still going to be less. I mean, yes, the younger population all day, they're going to go nuts. And I think we're going to have a baby boom on top of that because I think people are horny. But but I'm telling you that I don't see the older populations, especially, being as open to crowds, let's say hypothetically, if I'm older, right? And then here's a really effed up scenario, dude. This whole mutation of the virus. Does it mutate? And then
you know what I mean? More golden corrals, or,
no, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
whatever,
no more golden corrals, which was gross anyway.
I think it all depends on what really happens, right? I mean, I don't think COVID necessarily ever goes away, right?
No, I agree. It doesn't go away.
You can get right now, if you got this vaccine that came out, is the one in England, this hyper strain or whatever, is that something that you're immune to if you took the vaccine that you can get here today?
By theory,
we'll find out because that strain is already here. So
it is here.
Yep.
When did you find that out?
It was last weekend, I think. The first case was confirmed in Colorado.
No shit. Interesting. Yep. Well, yeah, we'll find out if in theory it's supposed to, because what the vaccine does is it learns how to attack the corona part of the coronavirus, which is the dangerous part, right? So it learns how to identify your system. It learns how to identify it and attack it. Now people get sick from that, but they ultimately become COVID, free, and then they don't have it, or they become immune to it. But I have heard a lot of people that I even know that they're still seeing after effects from COVID months later. And these are people that are really smart that I trust, and they had it. And I talked to them. They're like, dude, I'm still fatigued. I still don't feel right. I have loss of memory. These symptoms of this fucking virus are just really wild. It's not like a cold or a flu. I mean, legitimately now we can say that the symptoms are pretty gnarly. And I'll be very interested to see what happens with the vaccine. You know what I mean? Is it going to work?
I'm scared to see what happens with the vaccine because there's going to be so many people that don't take it, which is going to basically make it ineffective completely.
Why would that make it ineffective? If I took it, right? I wonder about this. If I take it and I have it and I can't get it, how does it ineffective?
Because if the virus has enough time to stay active,
to adapt and mutate.
Yeah. Let's say 50% of the people get it, 50% don't. But that virus then
now it's
spread around and mutate, and maybe some people who did have the vaccine got it, but they got the hyper strain, and then they spread that. I don't know, but I feel
those are all good points.
It's hard too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of in and mind you, this is my own thing, and I guess everyone's entitled to whether they want something injected into them or not, right? But I don't necessarily know that I still want to get the vaccine.
I almost just want to get COVID. You know what I mean? I know I'm probably gonna survive it. And by the way, just so everybody knows,
what is scary are those side effects, because again, I know some people who had it and okay, whatever, they beat it, but their heart's fucked up.
Yeah. There's people that are that have long-standing damage from it, which is fucked up. I
wonder if that's because of just the strain that it's put on your body to necessarily be on a respirator or something, right? I mean, it can't be healthy. Imagine sitting and breathing through a straw for 2 weeks.
No. Well, and there's also brain injury that happens when you're intubated like that. There's a lot of stuff that happens, man. I mean, look, the biggest issue with this thing is,
long story short, you don't want to get it.
No, you don't want to get it. No. But to your point, Sal, if I was a frontline worker, I'd be personally, cool, man, I'll take it. But how about we give it to those people first, and then we'll see what happens, right? The frontline people, some people are excited to get it, and I know people that have gotten it, and great. And I would probably get it if I had an opportunity to get it. But to your point, Sal, we don't fucking know what we don't know about what we don't know. And we don't know if this thing is going to work because it's the first time we've ever done anything like this. Because up until now, whenever someone told you about the flu, what were you told? Oh, there's no cure for the flu. You just got to ride it out. Drink a lot of fluids, right? Well,
there were flu shots. But
well, there are flu shots, but what I mean by
never
that,
took a flu shot, you know.
but flu shots are basically giving you a little piece of the flu, right? Like they're giving you small doses of the flu. Dead flu is what they give you. Dead flu viruses, and then they send it in your body. This, they literally took a piece of the corona, which is the coronavirus, and injected it into, like, I don't know how the fuck they did. Whatever. Long story short, it's never been done.
It's the same concept as the flu shot. It's a virus. There's no way to cure it. There's a way to treat it, and there's a way to trick your body into building an immunity against the symptoms.
It is the same in theory, but it's different in execution.
Yeah, because this was never been done.
Right. So it'll be interesting. I mean, enough about Corona. I don't want to talk about Corona anymore. We're done with Corona. Corona is either going to kill you or not, and we're going to live through it, and we all are going to be here or not be here after it, right? It's one of those things that we got to live through. And I just think it's interesting the effect that it's had on the market, the effect that it's had on the human psychological profile, where people now want to live in houses because they're living at home. When you get quarantined at home, we talked about it before, you're living in your house, you either love it or hate it, and you're going to find another house or live, you know what I mean? And imagine if you're having babies right now during this time, or if you got kids and you're all stuck at home. And this is, I think, what's driving our home buying. I think first-time home buyers want to buy a house right now. You know, this huge millennial group, Sal, that are out there making money, doing well, that were living at home or living in an apartment. And they're like, rates are low, I'm going to go buy a house. Are you seeing a lot of first-time home buyers sell right now, or not really? Are you seeing more mover uppers?
Yeah, I would say I see more first-time home buyers than mover. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, a lot of people who have kids and whatnot still want to move.
Yeah, but there is a big population of first-time home buyers right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the stats. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of refis too, where people are again kind of shrinking that inventory. Right? They're like, well,
they're not moving. Those refinances are not moving for a while, right? Because they got
thinking maybe about moving, but now that my house is $400 cheaper a month, I might just stay. Right?
I can upgrade it, right? I can
cash. Yeah, I can do a cash out and keep my payment the same, and put on that addition I wanted to do, or new windows or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Like it's all kind of regulating itself.
Yeah, it is. It is strange to, like, a lot of people have a lot of equity in their house. There's so many people, guys. Anybody that's listening to the show that has
more false equity from a mortgage standpoint with the way that they're giving out appraisal waivers, especially on cash outs. It's like,
you
can take cash money or cash out of your house and not get an appraisal. I mean, mind you, I think that for the most part, Fannie and Freddie have put themselves in equitable positions, even at the higher values still, but not on some of them. I mean,
not on mine. Not like I just did a refinance, and my value came in through Fannie. I think, what was it, Brad? 450 for?
I don't remember. It was high.
It was high,
way higher than what your house is worth.
I mean, not way higher. I think my house is probably around 425. It's like 25K higher.
Everybody thinks their house is worth more than it is.
No, I know. I'm in the industry. I know how much my fucking house is worth, Brad.
But some people, who, I mean, here's to a degree the scary part, right? Just because, let's say you bought a house for $350,000, right?
Right.
And you want to refi, right? You got in at 3.5% just earlier this year, right? Okay,
7 months ago, right?
275 or something like that, and then you get an appraisal waiver at a higher value and
425, call it, right? And you pull cash out up to 80%.
And you're talking, well, you can't do that, right? Like, that wouldn't work numbers wise, but like,
whatever.
If you do a rate and term refi and you roll $4 or $5 of costs into your loan, right? And your house isn't worth what Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac are saying with that appraisal waiver. So something happens, you go to sell, you're already leveraged up. I mean, it costs 8% to sell your home, right?
Yeah, between all the fees. Yeah.
Michigan,
traditionally, yes.
So you're like, you're underwater the day you buy it if you put minimum down, right?
5% down, it takes 8% to sell it, you're 3% in the hole, right?
Yeah, especially like FHA or in FHA, you put 3.5% down, you only have 1.75% equity.
Yeah, because you've got the funding fee that's being rolled in on top of that, right? Yeah. I
mean, obviously put 0 down, but then you got 2.25 or 2.35 or whatever rolled in on top, and it's like, wow.
Well, that's part of
How
the
do you
reason.
get out of that?
That's part of the reason why 2008 kind of crashed, because we were, bro, in 2008 and 2007, 2006, you could do a loan up to 125 sometimes % of your value of your house. You could literally borrow up to 125% of the value of your house. Think about that. Right? So that was a problem back then. You could do 100% financing. You do a lot of different things. When you start degrading the equity position in the country, that's a little bit dangerous. Now, I think what Fannie and Freddie are looking at on cash outs with property inspection waivers, where you don't have to do an appraisal, they're probably looking at it and they're like, well, 80% is the max. Even if we're off by 10%, we still have 10% equity, I guess. Right? Maybe that's what they're looking at. But the equity position of the country is going to be but I don't think it's going away, Sal, because the demand is not going away. That's the whole thing. Is I don't think prices come down until demand goes away or we get more inventory. And I don't see either one of those things happening. So I think a lot of people do have equity in their house, and a lot of people have debt that they can roll in and save a lot of money by doing it. And a lot of people don't look at it because they're like, I don't want to put my credit card debt on my mortgage. Well, what are you going to do with your $25,000 in credit card debt? Well, I'm making minimum payments. I added an extra $100 a month. At 22%, dude, you have the same debt. Put it on your house, add the extra payment, and then if you want to recast the loan at some point, you can. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of people with equity that could utilize it and use it as a tool and be debt managers instead of having all this debt all over the place. But a lot of people can save a lot of money and they just don't know how. I see that happening all the time. Do you want cash out? No. Well, what are you going to do with this $35,000 in debt? Oh, I'm going to pay it off. How are you going to pay it off? You make $55,000 a year, right? Or student loans, right? Whatever it is. No. Do you think they're going to forgive all student loans? Do you think Biden's going to do that? No, there's no way. That's not happening, right? No, that's not happening.
I would love it if they did. That'd be sweet.
I think,
dude, they send $600 out.
Yeah, dude, you're right.
They're gonna give $100,000 of student loans.
Yeah, you're right, dude. It's like, yeah, well, here's $600.
That would even cover some people's student loan payments, dude. So
doesn't cover mine.
100%, you're right, dude. 100%, you're right. Fuck. Yeah,
I mean, it'd be nice, and I don't know, maybe somehow, some way, but I highly doubt it, dude. But who knows? I mean, we've been wrong probably more than we've been right.
Probably, man. Probably.
Can we all agree that Mitch McConnell is probably the most hated person in America right now?
He's like, dude, what is wrong with Mitch? He's like the crypt keeper, bro. Like, no, like I don't care what side you're on. Mitch is just being an asshole, right?
Turtle.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what side you're on. It's like, Mitch, come on, man. Like, did you forget what it's like to be a human? He must be like a lizard or something.
He's a turtle.
He's a turtle. So 2021, guys. First quarter, what do you see? Busy or lull before the storm?
I mean, we're in it already, right? We're in the first quarter.
Right.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's going to be busy.
Busy,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm going to call people. So yeah, it's going to be busy, but I don't know about anything past that. It's just too crazy of a time. So I don't know. I mean, dude, the stock market is through the roof.
Is it up today again?
Again, yeah.
Again. How? Where's the money coming from? That's what I want to know. Is it all $600 that people got going in the stock market? You know what I mean? And how about Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these cryptocurrencies? They're blowing up. Where is all the money coming from? You know what I mean?
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Dude, there's the weird thing about Bitcoin. If you now have institutional investors across the world in buying Bitcoin in bulk because they know it's a scarcity thing, right? That's the cool thing about Bitcoin is there isn't an infinite amount of them. At some point, there'll be no more. It's like gold. If you knew no more gold was ever going to be mined, price of gold will shoot through the roof. And since there's already an established demand for Bitcoin, it's going to become a store of value. And if it becomes a store of value, that scarcity is going to drive the price up. I personally am very, very bullish on Bitcoin. I really am. I think if you see,
I was reading though. I mean, not that person.
There's always opinions.
What I read, right? But like basically, like of course, yeah. There's only like what 21 or 23 million.
22 million or something like that. Yeah.
And they won't be mined for 220 years or something.
No. They'll be done mining them in like 10 years. No. Let me look that up. Natalia, can you look up how long it's going to take for Bitcoin to be
becomes
finished mining?
exponentially slower to mine a Bitcoin.
It takes more power.
To become what?
How long will Bitcoin take to mine all the Bitcoin in existence? So can you Google that for us and tell us how long it's going to take?
But I was reading, right?
But it takes more power. So these Bitcoin mining,
not like an absolute definite 1,000% that there's a finite amount of Bitcoins. Like
yes,
someone can modify that code.
It says they should be out by the year 2140.
Oh wow! So it is going to take a long time, Sal. You're right.
Yeah,
2140. So man, we're talking not in our lifetime.
Yeah, it says there's 21 million.
Yeah, so there's 21 million, and every time, and it's like 14 million have already been mined or something like that. So
yeah, but it gets much exponentially harder to mine the rest of them. But which is smart because it increases the value, which is interesting.
But there is a way to modify the code or the formula or whatever for them.
You can only shard it. You can split it. That's the only thing that you can do is split it and then create another. Like you've got Bitcash, but Bitcoin itself only finite, bro. That's it. But you're right. You can modify it, but it won't be the original Bitcoin, right? It'll shard off. And the thing that's happened right now, no matter like there's other coins that perform better, that trade faster, and so on and so forth. But the problem is Bitcoin has become the gold standard. You see what I'm saying? Like nobody's getting off Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what Natalia, you're back on. What's going on?
It says it takes 10 minutes to mine one Bitcoin. To process
right now.
one. Yeah.
Right now.
It says 10 minutes.
Not true.
That's wrong. Hold on.
Absolutely wrong.
No, that is. Well, let's hear. How long does it take to mine a Bitcoin?
10 minutes. Here's a summary from the balance.
How's that even
It still
possible?
takes 10 minutes to mine one Bitcoin. At 600 seconds, all else being equal, it will take 72,000 gigawatts of power to mine a Bitcoin using the average power usage provided by ASIC miners. That's
like if you have a fucking storage place full of fucking mainframes mining it, right?
Yeah.
But as it gets more expensive, it becomes more worth it. This is a weird thing that this guy Takashi created because it's really genius. It kind of solves for everything: scarcity, harder to mine, long-term whatever value. It's a really weird thing. It's decentralizing the monetary system, because think about this: if you're in a country where your dollar is not performing and you worked hard for your money, but you have $1 million of Argentinian dollars, right? But that $1 million is devaluing because our inflation is going crazy. Wouldn't you take your money and protect it in Bitcoin? That's what I mean. It's a store of value. You can move it to Bitcoin, and now you can buy whatever you want, and it is decoupled from the inflation of your country, right? Kind of like gold, right? Gold's going to it's going to have a worldwide value. So it's going to be really. We're not crypto talk. I'm just saying there are things happening geoeconomically across the globe that are. I don't know. There's geopolitical. Geoeconomic, I don't know. So I just think I just think geoeconomically speaking, which means just countries, the way that we transact. Shut up! Stop laughing at me, Frodo. So, why do you look like Frodo? By the way,
I don't know.
Yeah, does he look like Frodo, Sal?
No, he doesn't look like Frodo, dude. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, dude. I mean. Listen, everyone wants to be like,
the Oracle or whatever. I know.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the number of Bitcoins will be dead when they're mined. And they don't even know who fucking created it.
They don't.
So it's cool. And yeah, obviously there's a big worth to it, right? But like, who knows what's going to happen? I'm
just saying, you're right. Who knows? Because remember when I was on Ethereum 4 years ago, whatever it was, I'm like, oh, we're going to be rich. We're going to be so rich. Right.
And, to your point, all these big institutional investors buying in and doing that, like 12 years ago, like all the banks fucking collapsed, for doing crazy shit. So who knows?
You never know. This world, I mean, Corona came. Who knows?
Like, what's crazy is like how many lost Bitcoins there are.
Well, confiscated, lost, stolen, locked up. Because what happens is like you can have cold storage.
I think it's like 1 million or 2
there's a lot, bro, and there's a lot that are seized by like the U.S. government has a million of them because they closed down Silk Road and all these like dark websites and took all the Bitcoin, right? So there is a lot of Bitcoin that is not in circulation. And there's also like there's people that bought Bitcoin very early on that bought like 1,000, 10,000 of them and put it in their hard drive, and they lost them.
How right? So I guess
I know somebody that did that.
I know, so do I. Hold on. How many Bitcoin are not in circulation?
I mean,
Here's a summary from Investopedia. The supply of Bitcoin is limited to 21 million.
No, that's not it. That's not the answer.
So,
anyways,
what's interesting though and kind of scary is, I mean, you lose your what do they call it, like kernel key or whatever. Your
key, yeah, you
lose it, and it's like it's gone.
Well, Coinbase has done a better job of that because I got relogged into my Coinbase after not having my before. If you didn't have your 2-factor authentication to get back on Coinbase, you're effed. Remember that, Sal? You lost yours. Remember how much?
Well, I eventually got into it, but like,
yeah,
pain in the ass, and like, I just think like, and mind you, maybe this will bring better technology around it, right? But like, it's kind of scary that someone can seize it, you know.
Well, they can seize it if it's in like a third party. They can't seize it from you really, unless, well, maybe they can. I don't know. But that's why everybody puts that's why people put their Bitcoin on cold storage, which is really scary, right? So you get this hard drive. It's called cold storage. Your Bitcoin lives in there, and you've got to get a key to get into there. You lose that cold storage, you lose your fucking money. You know what I mean? So it is very technical.
Fucking hard drive.
Right? Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean. Man, you ever had a hard drive crash, like, and you got to get a new one? Like, that is scary as shit.
Yeah, like $10 million on a hard drive.
It's not like stored in some central, like, located thing, right? Which, mind you, I'm not taking that against Bitcoin per se, but like,
it's decentralized. That's the whole point of it, right?
Right, and it's kind of scary. I mean, dude, you lose it. It's like, having if there was no internet money, right, and everyone had cash and there was no banks, like. Imagine if everything you had was in cash in your basement. You know what I mean?
Listen to this. One recent estimate is that about 3 to 4 million Bitcoins are lost forever. It is impossible to know the exact number since a lost Bitcoin looks exactly the same on the blockchain as a new one is not lost. We can make some educated guess based on how long Bitcoin has sat and addressed unmoved. So there's potentially millions of Bitcoins that are just lost, dude. Think about that. No way to get them back. Imagine being that guy that bought like 100 Bitcoin back when it was like $1 and just lost it, dude. It's like, that's gotta suck, dude.
I just think the price of it is nuts.
$33,000 of Bitcoin, dude.
Yeah.
Well, per Bitcoin. I mean, you can buy fractional Bitcoins, right? But I'm putting like 1% of my investments into Bitcoin just to hedge. But that's just me. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I think 2020 was a really awesome year. I loved all the guests we had. I really want to, like, what do you guys, as far as the show goes, I mean, I want to get some more badass guests. Like, I know Darren McCarty was one of our favorites, but he wasn't even in real estate. You know what I mean? Which is cool. I want to get some cooler, like, not cooler, but like, I want to get some really interesting guests. Hopefully we can con some people on doing this stupid show like we have in the past. I don't know how the hell we get them on the show, but they come on. So, yeah, man, 24,000 downloads. Sal, Paul, and Brad, Inside Real Estate. It's been 134 episodes of us doing this, and you think people just download it over time because it's like, let me see what they're talking about, and then they just don't listen to it. That's what I think what happens. They're like, fuck this. I don't know why I downloaded it.
Listened all the way through 24,000 times.
No, but it was downloaded 24,000.
Yeah, someone clicked on it, right?
We're live on YouTube now.
We're live on. Oh, well, yeah, we just got, so we started a new platform. We're live on YouTube. So if you want to catch us on YouTube, what's our URL on YouTube, Natalie? Natalie, what are you wearing in your picture? Were you working that night?
Actually, no. I was taking family photos, and I asked my uncle to take a headshot.
Okay, got it. All right. That's awesome. So you're looking up the URL for, anyways. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep enhancing the show, right? We're gonna be on YouTube. We do the Facebook Live. People that might not realize this, but we do every show live. We don't edit it. We don't have time to edit it. We just, whatever comes out, and because we're just putting out content, and we want to make sure that we give people what they want. It's more like a podcast radio show than anything. Like, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are really well refined. Not us.
polished, recorded a week ahead of time, edited
chapters. No, you get rawness, live, and whatever rawness, and whatever comes on and out stays out there forever.
Yep, which is scary to think about.
It is scary, but that's how it works. Salvatore, anything you want to say to your audience? You've had some mail lately from a lot of married women that want to have an affair. So what do you want to say to them?
Some mail,
like actual snail mail, like postcards. Sal, will you please sleep with me? I'm married. That's what I got in one of them.
Where are those? You guys just threw them away?
I got them saved for a rainy day. For you. You're like, where are those?
Yeah.
I would love, you know what I would love to see, 21, is more interaction from our audience. I know we've got a great audience, but they don't interact as much. They're very shy.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome to have some pretty cool guests on here, right? Maybe a little outside of our industry and whatnot, just to get some perspective, right?
Yeah, if you had like one wish, or like at a wish list, who would you guys have on it? Who would you love to interview? Mitch McConnell?
No.
No,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so many interesting figures. I'd love to have Gretchen on it. If we can get Gretchen on here.
I don't want any politicians, dude.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
I want like some industry leaders, right? Like we had industry leaders in our sector. Like it'd be cool to have like if we could get like Gary Keller, right, or the guy who EXP or something, or from other sectors, even like somehow get a hold of like maybe not Elon Musk, right, but like
that would be sweet. But yeah, something like that, right? So anybody, our listeners out there, I'm going to implore you to mobilize and get us some industry leaders on our show. Nobody will do this, but for the one, if anybody gets us a really awesome guest, I will personally pay you $500 if you get us a guest that we put on the show that we want to have. That's like super high level. I don't think that's a bad thing to give someone $500.
No, it'd be sweet.
You guys aren't jumping on that. It's all on me, isn't it?
I mean, you put it out there.
Yeah. I know. It'll be my $500. It will not be Inside Real Estates or Omegas. It is going to be my $500. But if you can get me if you got me Elon Musk, I'd give you 1,000. Nobody's in it.
That's kind of insulting to Elon Musk.
I know. Elon, you're worth $1,000 for your time, bro. Jay-Z, you want to do our podcast? $4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think let's just see who we can get. You just gotta network and ask people. It'd be cool. I mean, like I thought it was really cool actually having John with Detroit Rising, right? Like that was cool. Like he,
yeah.
So I think we just got to work at it.
Yeah, let's get some more industry leaders. Got to give us their thought process. I think that's a great point. Brad, anybody that you want to have on here? Shrek,
Aaron Rodgers. We interview Aaron Rodgers. That'd be pretty sweet.
You would be having orgasm after orgasm if Aaron Rodgers. You're like, oh my god, Aaron.
No, he's a really smart dude though.
He is a smart dude. You can't. I don't think you can be quarterback in the NFL and not be pretty smart. There's a lot you got to be looking at, and he's one of the top quarterbacks, so he must be pretty smart. You know what I mean? Except for Eli Manning, that guy was dumb. Eli Manning just looked dumb all the time. Sorry, that's my own personal opinion. All right, guys, that's it, man. I mean, we've been doing this for 50 minutes. That's the length of our show. Anything you guys want to add for 2020 going into 2020? Well, we are in 2021. Anything for 2021 that you want to put out there into the universe?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to put out that I really hope that Brad loses weight this year. Oh, 3 questions. Oh, we got to do 3 questions. Oh, thanks, Natalia. We forgot 3 questions. Let's each ask a question. Ready? So anybody want to go first?
Go first.
Okay. If you had to lose one part of your body, like a limb, a leg, an ear, feet. What would like if you had to lose a piece of your body? Which piece would you have to give up if you had to give up?
I think it'd be pretty easy to say like the tip of your pinky digit. I think
no, it's got to start
like arm, leg, eyes,
arm, leg, ears. Yeah, major pieces of your body. What would you put it out?
So I can't just say like appendix.
No, it's got to be external. It's a digit, like a leg.
Leg for sure, dude.
Leg for sure, because you can get another one, right? You can just clip one on.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who walk around with a fake leg or a prosthetic leg and are able to like run marathons, right? But like to not be able to use both your hands and try to like type or use your phone. Or
they've got bionic hands now, bro, that like make you better.
I have the leg, dude.
Yeah, I agree with you. What about you, Brad? Why don't you just cut your hair?
I can't say like nipple.
What?
Can I say like nipple or something?
That's a big nipple, bro. We know you got those pepperonis.
No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say leg as well.
All right.
Are we talking like above the knee or below the knee, though? I feel like that makes
no. This is above the knee. We're going all the way to the hip.
Well, then you can't get it. If you're going all the hip, then you can't get a prosthetic.
I mean,
not that high up.
I would rather be. I think like. This will be tough, though. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can't really do much at the hip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How about we're all blessed? We got all of our shit.
Yeah, we are blessed. I mean, for those that don't have legs, obviously we know that you're struggling, but you're probably having a good life and whatever. So, Brad, your turn. What question do you have?
Man.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really think about it because we were answering that other question. If you had to get rid of a holiday, like a major holiday, not like a fucking like a flag day or whatever.
Right.
Which holiday would you get rid of?
Wow, that's a really, really good question. I would get rid of. Oh man, there's so many good ones. I don't know. New Year's. I think New Year's is just such a waste. No, like at our age, we don't do anything. It fucks up the whole week in business wise because you've got like two major holidays right next to each other. No, and New Year's Day. Everybody just sits around anyways and does nothing. It's just a moot day. It's not like people are getting together. I mean, they get together the night before sometimes, but nowadays people don't even make it to fucking midnight to see the New Year because we're tired and we have kids, right? And Sal, I don't know what you did for New Year's, but like I'm sure it's not the same as it was when you were younger. So I would get rid of New Year's. I would say it's still New Year's Day. It'd be like, congratulations, it's the New Year. But we don't have to take a fucking day off for it. It's weird, isn't it? Like we don't take a day off for every month. Like, oh, it's a new month. Like, oh, wait, it's a new season. No, it's just another fucking year. Like, why are we taking a day off? That's my 2 cents.
I would probably say like, I don't know, maybe like Easter.
I was gonna say Easter, but that's so sacrilegious that I didn't even go there, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think I would say Easter.
If you said that to Greek people, Easter is bigger than Christmas in Greece. Easter is the biggest holiday on the planet in Greece.
Good thing I'm not Greek. I pick Easter.
What's fucked up though, to a degree, like just from like and I get it, right? Like, because obviously, like,
it's a religious holiday,
right? But like, everyone gets it off, and I mean it's Sunday, right? But like, typically,
Good Friday, you know, sometimes you'll have the Monday around it, but Easter is a very sacred Christian holiday, though. Like in Greece, like, it's really wild.
Like, dude, for Hanukkah, like, I don't ever like no one fucking
around here, but my wife worked in Aventura, Florida, and every single Yom Kippur and every single Jewish holiday, you were just not in a high, like if you're in a high Jewish area, those kids do not go to school on those days. They don't. Tiff was like that in Aventura, which is north of Miami in Florida. By the way, it's my wife's name day today, so I want to say happy name day for those of you that are Greek that don't know what that means. Yeah, we all have name days that were named after by saints. So it's her name day in Greece. Name days are actually bigger than birthdays. We're fucking weird, I know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would do Easter, guys. I mean, Easter is going to piss a lot of people off if you turn Easter.
I like the food. I would actually, I like the food for Easter more than Thanksgiving.
Easter food's awesome. I always loved Easter food because Easter food wasn't
gone. Easter's gone.
Really over like Thanksgiving, which doesn't really mean much.
Oh yeah, no.
But you like the actual holiday of Thanksgiving, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think meanings aside, right? Like,
I got it. Like actual, like
if that was up to me, it'd probably be Halloween, right? Like,
I love Halloween though.
I love Halloween. It's probably one of my favorites.
No, it's one of my favorites. I love Halloween.
When I have kids or something, I like it, but it's like, dress up with fucking face paint on and walk around, like. But whatever, people
what's your best Halloween costume that you guys have ever had?
Fred Flintstone. Last 2 years ago.
That's what you look like every day, dude.
That's why it was the best.
You're more of a Barney Rubble.
I got to wear flip flops. I got to wear.
What do you mean you got to? That's what you wear every day.
Right, but I got to do it as a Halloween costume. It was great.
That's not a costume. It's what you wear.
It was the best costume ever.
All right, next question.
All right.
That's your question, Sal.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Favorite day of that's a great question. I love that question. My least favorite day of the week is Sunday nights.
That's not a day. That's a specific time of a day.
I'm just saying my least favorite. So I just want to get that out of the way. My favorite day, Tuesdays are my most productive. I think Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are my most productive days, along with Saturdays. I like Thursdays because Thursdays are like non-committal. You can work really hard, and then if you want to like get after it at night, you can, because you only have like a Friday, shorter Friday. So you can work through Friday, and then like all of a sudden, you go home, and then you're okay to like go back out, and back when we could go out. Like Thursday was always my favorite night to go out, or day to like do anything personally, because it didn't affect the weekend. What about you guys?
I like Friday. You get to work, but afterwards you can kind of do what you want.
Right? Yeah, Friday's good. Friday's
without the repercussions of having a
early morning.
Yeah, so you can still have like a kind of productive day, right? A full productive day, and then afterwards, whatever you want to do, whether you want to just hang out and go to sleep, you want to go party, you want to go out of town, you can do that.
Yeah,
without having to take a formal day off. I mean, you still might be working, but maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, Brad?
I mean, I don't really have a favorite day of the week, but I would have to say either Sunday for football, or this is kind of weird, but probably Thursday, because it's garbage night, and it's something about like throwing a bunch of shit away and just like purging and like starting fresh every Thursday is like, I don't know, it's kind of like cleansing.
I hate garbage day. Tonight's garbage day for me, and I always have so much. The boxes is what fucks me.
Yeah, it's great. You get rid of all that shit, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa.
Well, you got to break them all down. I can't just throw them in the.
Who cares? Break them down. Feels good.
I don't know. I don't know if you have as many boxes as I do, bro.
Yes, I do.
All right.
What they should do? There should be a garbage service.
A what?
Like a big, like someone buys a dump truck or some dump trucks, and it's like, dude, I got so much shit at my house.
They already have it. They already have that. The junk 1-800-GOT-JUNK. That's what they do. I call them. It's pretty cool. And they charge you by the amount of garbage and the amount of room it's going to take in their truck. So if you have like a big thing, although it doesn't weigh a lot, but it takes up a lot of room, they charge you more. So it's funny that you say that, because they already do that. Yeah, we know what I want in my house. If I could have anything, I want a mail room in my house. I don't want to have to fucking go to UPS or USPS or all these other places to return stuff.
Oh, like a postage,
I want a guy in my garage sorting my mail, because we have so much, and then throwing everything, like making it all organized and returning things that I need to return.
How much mail do you get? That's absurd.
We buy everything online. We don't go to the store for hardly anything.
What? But they just drop it. So do we, but they just bring it to our porch.
Yeah, but then what happens when you buy a shirt and you want to return it, which you don't do?
Don't do. Either sits in my closet or throws away on garbage.
When you want to return, so you just toss it.
Make sure, sir.
Yeah, you're like, I need new underwear. I'm gonna buy them and just toss the old ones.
Yeah. It's cleansing.
Yeah, Billy does that. Remember when Billy told us he buys a new pack of t-shirts every like 2 weeks, and he doesn't he washes it. He only uses them for like 2 months in a row, and then he gets rid of them. I'm like, well, how bad are your pits that you need to replace your shirts that often, dude?
Well, if you think about like the amount of shit you spend money on buying, a pack of, undershirts for $20 every 2 months, isn't that crazy?
Dude, you know what's weird? My kids have so many toys, and I thought about this the other day. The price of things and the ability for people to buy them have gone like down so much. Like my kids, like when I grew up, I'd get like 3 presents, right?
For some things, toys like that, yeah, but like kids don't want toys like that anymore. They want cell phones that are fucking $1,000 a piece instead of what they used to be like.
My kids are 3 and 4, and they got a Nintendo. What is it called? The Switch.
Yeah,
but I didn't get it for them. My brother-in-law got it for him, but it's like these kids, like the price of goods have gone. Like on Amazon, if I want a toothbrush, I push a button, it's 45 cents, and it's in my house, whatever the fuck it is, right? It is crazy how cheap things have gotten and how much access we have to information to make sure that we don't overspend. Back in the day, you'd walk into a store, you'd see something that you thought was beautiful, you'd buy it for $200. You go look on, like you go to a different store a week later, and it's on sale for 120, and you're effed. You know what I mean? Like you just already bought it. Nowadays, you search on 4 sites, you find the cheapest one, and you click it. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So anything else you guys got before we go? That's a wrap. Thank you. And Natalia, you're doing a good job with these things. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope.
How do you guys like the new platform? It looks better, doesn't it?
I like it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's very similar. What's that?
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. All right, guys. For all of those that listen, that have followed, anyone that's ever downloaded an episode of ours, we can't thank you enough. I mean, we're just 3 dudes out of Metro Detroit, Michigan, that are trying to like add value to people that listen to our show. Hopefully, we've added some value. Hopefully, you guys learned some stuff. Hopefully, we brought you guys some good talent, good people to listen to. If you do, or if you have downloaded the show and you liked any part of it, please like, subscribe. If you are on YouTube, hit the notification bell to make sure that you get notified. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing it. And I'm doing it. Yep. Hit like.
I hear this so many times during the day with my kids.
Smash that like button. Smash it right there. Or leave us a review on iTunes or the podcast app, because it really, really helps us when we get good feedback. And if you are someone that wants to be on the show that's in a position somewhere across the country, we are booking people as we speak, and we get a lot of requests. So, we're booking up fast, but I think we're booked up through the, first 2 months of next year. So that's going to keep going.
Of this year.
I keep saying next year. I'm still in 2020, I think. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Sal, Brad, anything else? We're good?
No, stop asking that.
All right. I love you guys. Be good. See you later.
Goodbye.
That's a wrap.